Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 33. When we last left our heroes, Eggman was continuing his attack on Spiral Village. The gang was making decent headway in defending the village. But back in Blaze's world, Blaze went into her blazing form, forget which is which, I think it's burning. Blazing Blaze is too stupid a name. Her burning form, which helped to restore Sonic's memories. She then brought Sonic back to our world, where Sonic quickly freed Omega and beat back Eggman. And now, healthy and back in our world with his memories back, Sonic races towards a new day, and a new arc, and a new head writer. So, let's jump right on into issue 33. Our cover picture here is really, like, CG looking. We've got Sonic, Midnight Sky, Amy and Rouge, both depicted as, like, constellations. And there's a tornado with its engine on fire. Okay. So let's jump right on in. We have our story so far. Amy mentioning that she had passed leading the restoration off to Jewel. We got Eggman's attack. Omega back in his body and free, bringing the hurt to Eggman. And then Omega falling apart. And then we have the final scene of Sonic watching the sunrise and running to find out what comes next. For our roll call, we have Sonic, Amy, Tails, Rouge, Omega, Cream, Cheese, and Jamerl. Alright. So, we open up outside Tails' workshop with Sonic, relaxing in a tree. And inside Tails' workshop, we hear voices. Where did you say you got this? It's a souvenir from my tour of the Face Ship, direct from Dr. Eggman's personal files. I'm guessing this is Tails and Rouge. And Amy's there too, with Omega's body. Amy is finished putting down, I guess, the last part of Omega's body, which you'll recall fell apart last chapter, leaving Omega just his head again. Remarkable. I was hoping they'd make some sense to you, Mr. Boy Genius. Anyway, I skipped this panel originally. Anyway, back to the actual thing. Phew, that's the last of it. Guess I can skip my boxer-size workout today. So, do you think you can fix him? And Tails turns to her. Thanks, Amy. And I'm not sure. Eggman wrote this code. Without the cipher, it's gibberish. Besides, even if I could read it, Omega's way beyond a simple tune-up. This is gonna need a full rebuild. So yeah. Omega's not in a great spot right now. And Omega responds, it is fortunate that I am a machine. A weak organic life form would likely experience elevated stress levels in this situation. And we see Sonic, upside down, peering in through the window. But no one notices that. Tails thinks to himself, if I can get into Eggman's network, I bet I could find the cipher for the blueprints. I need a place with Eggnet access, like an abandoned base. Interestingly, that's the exact same thing Starline is looking for, I think. Over in Bad Guys. Anyway, Amy grins. Alright, I'm ready to get back into the action. And Rouge just smiles. Well, that was my good deed for the day. Good luck. And Amy turns to her. Aw, you're gonna miss out on all the fun. If I'm too helpful all at once, I'll break out in hives. Can't wait to see Omega fixed up. Let me know how it goes. And just then, Sonic jumps in through the window. Yo, Tails, I know a base up by Windmill Village. The doc hasn't been there in ages, and it might have what you need. You want to come, Amy? And Amy starts blushing. Eep, you and I together? On a mission? I'm curious if I noted during the early days of Ian Flynn's run, we saw an Amy who was still, crushing on Sonic, but was also much more focused on the larger events in play than her relationship with Sonic. And this might just be because Amy has now, kind of resigned to give Jewel control of the restoration. But I'm curious if we're gonna go back into a more traditional Amy chases Sonic kind of relationship between the two of them, which I really hope isn't the case. The relationship between Sonic and Amy in this series is one of its best parts. And I'm hoping it doesn't go back to the game kind of, she chases him and he runs away kind of thing. Anyway, it'll be Sonic. So she has on a mission. It'll be dark, cold, deep underground, infested with rusty killer badniks. The works. And Amy kind of deflates. Oh, sounds great. And Rouge just like chuckles. We can always count on you, Blue. And Tails responds, that takes care of the blueprints, but we still need materials. I don't have the equipment to fabricate parts like Eggman's. But if I had an E100 series part set, I can maybe use that. They're really rare though. And Rouge, now with like a sparkle in her eye. Is that all? I can take care of that. I've had my eye on this mark for a while. She shows something to Sonic and Amy. White Park? The roller coaster place? That's just the tip of the iceberg. White Park is the place to find rare goods, including salvaged Eggman tech. If you know who to talk to. Luckily I do. Is the reigning champion of the White Park Chow Racing Circuit, Clutch. His real claim to fame is an unparalleled collection of technology and riches, and he's been known to make the odd trade under the table. So we're starting to see the shape of this arc, which I don't think the comic itself has said, but the wiki and solicit information has dubbed Chow races and badnik bases, and we're seeing both of those. Chow races being Rouge trying to get the Eggman parts from Clutch, and then the badnik bases, Sonic and Amy breaking into this base to get the cipher. I will say, though, this very much does feel like a mini-arc. It doesn't feel like this is building up to anything beyond restoring Omega. It's certainly not a long epic like the Metal Virus saga. It's not even a shorter storyline like the Metal Sonic storyline. It feels like this is going to be a fairly short plot. Though I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. My reputation might make it a bit difficult to earn his trust, so we need a cover story. And there's one waiting for us. The Chow races. And Amy starts to feel like there's something not quite right here. You've put an awful lot of thought into this. With so much treasure just sitting there for the taking, why wouldn't I? Now we're going to need one more person to make this work. And then we cut to Floral Forest, Vanilla's house. Where they're apparently not still working at the Chaotix Agency, or maybe they're just home for the day, I'm a little unsure. But we see, Jamerl is baking, Cream, Cheese, and Chocola are helping, and Vanilla picks up the phone. Hello? May I ask who is calling? And Amy whispers to Rouge, are you sure about this? You're still welcome to join the boys in that dark, dank, abandoned lair. Fair enough. So it looks like I was wrong, actually. Amy will not be going to the base. It's going to be a Sonic and Tails mission, while Amy and Rouge do this part. Miss Amy, what can I do for you today? And that gets Cream's attention, and she looks up questioningly. Meanwhile, Chocola tries to go for the cookies and falls in for a good sight gag. Cream? In White Park? Chow racing? Oh my, I don't know. And Amy tries to argue with her, or to argue her case with her. If Jamerl were damaged, we'd be there to get him fixed up. Doesn't Omega deserve the same kindness? It'll make a huge positive impact. And then Omega chimes in, yes, impact craters from my... And Rouge covers his mouth, which apparently works, even though he doesn't really have a mouth, but whatever, it works with a gag. Doesn't he deserve a chance? And Vanilla responds, that's true. And speaking of Jamerl, I think he could, in fact, use a little tune-up. He hasn't complained, but he was damaged in his last battle. Yeah, and I'm sure Tails can figure it out. And we see Jamerl's really beat up, dusty, kind of a lot of dirt on him. And Cream asks, we're going to fix Jamerl? But Jamerl counters, my primary systems are fully operational after my system reboot. Any damage I've sustained is merely superficial. And Cream goes to beg Vanilla, oh, Mama, won't you please let us help? I suppose, if Amy and Jamerl are there with you. And then she finally relents. Go get your winter clothes while I pack out some cookies for your trip. It's cold in White Park, and Amy will be here soon. And then, Cream goes to, dance with Jamerl. Did you hear that, Jamerl? We're going on another adventure! Chow chow! Please be careful, dear. Now we cut to the forest near Windmill Village to focus on Sonic and Tails' mission. As we hear Vanilla's line, you know how dangerous these adventures can be. And so we see Sonic and Tails are, in the dark, abandoned hallways of this base. How do you find out about this place? Spotted it on one of my runs. I keep tabs on stuff like this when I see it. And Tails seems to accept that. I wonder why Eggman abandoned this one. And Sonic, tries to, scare him. Maybe it was taken over by ghost badniks. Stop it. They only come out under the full moon. Watch out. They want to suck your blood. And Tails responds, I think you've got some wires crossed there. What? No, never. And we see the silhouette of what looks like a girl running behind them. Aha! There's one. And then Sonic's holding a door open for Tails. Ugh, one what? A computer terminal. Once we get some backup power going, I should be able to access the Eggnet from here. And as Sonic exits the doorway, it slams closed behind him. Yeesh. I take it back about the ghost badniks. This place is plenty creepy as is. And we see scattered all over the place are beat up hero dolls, like Sonic and Tails and Knuckles in particular, which I think we've seen before in the annual or something, if I'm not mistaken. At least we'll have company. And we see mechanical eye lights up. Meanwhile, back with the girl gang, and Rouge says to the rest of the crew, there it is, White Park. Wow, it's so pretty. Breathtaking views, luxury accommodations, and a secret treasure hoard waiting to be found. What more could a girl ask for? And Amy responds, I know this isn't technically a vacation, but it's a nice change after all that time pushing papers at Restoration HQ. And the whole world saving thing, Amy. You also did that. Don't forget about that part. And just then, she sees something on the road and kind of freaks out and turns the car around, streaks it to a stop. And it's Shadow standing there. Shadow? How about that? Hey there, handsome. And Shadow just scoffs at them. Typical. What are you, and Amy asks, what are you doing here? Nothing that concerns you. Hold on, we're trying to get Omega fixed. We could use your help. And Shadow turns back. Not interested. So we see Shadow is still not in a great mental state after his, after what happened in Sunset City. I don't know, he seems just kind of I don't know, I'm not entirely, I think we need to know more about what Shadow is doing here before I can really pass any judgment on how he's acting right now. Because he might be doing something very important, for his own goals or whatever he's trying to do right now. I don't know, because my first thought was maybe he's just abandoning everyone for some reason, and somehow his failure in the Metal Virus arc has pushed him, made him want to push away from people, which we kind of saw with Rouge's invitation to the party last issue. I don't know. Anyway, they drive off. Ugh, why has he gotta be such a grump? And Rouge responds, don't take it personally. That was polite for him. Besides, something tells me we'll be seeing him again. And then a short drive later, they've arrived at this, luxury hotel. Get ready for a crash course in subterfuge. Remember, if anybody asks, I'm Facet. And so, yeah, the gangs are all in this hotel, apparently under fake names, clearly. And Rouge turns to the suitcase. Sit tight, Omega. I have no legs. This does not compute. Just keep quiet. We see someone like a Parka, who, notices this conversation going on between Rouge and her suitcase. Follow my lead and act natural. With any luck, nobody will ever know we were ever here. And we see the person in the Parka bring their hood down, but we don't see who it is, because we've changed scenes right before we can find out. And it's Omochow, I think for the first time in the series. Attention, Chateau guests. Omochow speaking. I'll be your MC for today's event. The Grand Prix qualification race will be beginning soon. If you wish to compete, please register your chow immediately. And Rouge drags Cream Chimurl and the chows away. Better get you two signed up. And Amy runs off. I'll find us a good spot to watch from. And so now Rouge comes up to the registration table. Excuse me, this dear little girl is so excited to enter the race, she simply cannot wait. Do you mind if we One of the ladies there, aren't you the cutest? Sure. This young lady would like to enter her chow in the race. And then Omichow counters, I'm sorry, we don't allow children to race. And Rouge just laughs, ha ha ha. I mean, I'm the young lady. Nice pivot by Rouge there. Of course. Sign here, please. And she signs Cheese and Facet, her fake name, as we learned a couple pages ago. Chateau guests, the qualification race is about to begin. The first 50 chow to cross the finish line will be entered in our Grand Prix, starting tomorrow. Good luck and happy racing. And Cream brings Cheese to the starting line. Good luck, Cheese. We see a bunch of chows there. One like lounging around. We see like a shadow chow. And just generally all different types of chows. Anyway, we then cut to Cream and Rouge a little ways away. Miss Rouge, why did you lie? It's not nice to not tell the truth. And Rouge counters, that's Miss Facet, and don't worry about it. That's just another lie, Rouge. A little white lie won't hurt them. Heads up, there's our man. Rouge is like noticed Clutch, apparently. Clutch? Oh, no, I did the panels in the wrong order. My bad. A little white lie won't hurt them. And then Cream points out in the crowd, look, there's Cheese. Predisposition towards deception. Noted, is Jamurl. And Rouge counters him, you're no fun. And then, heads up, there's our man. Clutch? If the descriptions I've heard are to be believed, though I wasn't prepared for quite so much hair. Oh, it was Clutch and the Parka. Okay, so Clutch is aware of their whole things going on. And given that he can probably figure out without so much effort that there is a robot head in that suitcase, I imagine he knows what Rouge is here for. And so Omichow starts the race, and it looks like all of the other chow just leave Cheese in the dust. Oh, I do hope they're okay. This is Cream cheering. Please don't give up, Cheese. You can catch up in the flying section. And Cheese just starts to run faster. And he starts to fly over like a ravine with water, but the Shadow Chow kicks him into the water. And Cheese enters it with a splash as the Shadow Chow just kind of like giggles. Chow, and he continues his swim, and Cream calls, follow my voice, I believe in you! And Amy, like, raring to go, knock him dead, Cheese! And Cheese reaches the final bit of land and starts to fly, and just, like, jumps over the finish line, landing, like, face first. And Cream runs up to him. That was amazing! You were so brave, Cheese! And Rouge comes over to Cream. That last-minute dash got him into the qualifying bracket, too. Yay! We're officially in the Grand Prix. And Cheese looks over at the Shadow Chow that we see is Clutch's Chow. And Cream is very uncomfortable, or Cheese is very uncomfortable with this. And the Shadow Chow looks back at him and just, like, gives him a smirk. And then the four of them all head off to, I guess, their hotel room or something. I gotta admit, as plans go, this is a pretty fun one. And Rouge just responds, my plans are always fun. And just then, Clutch approaches them. Good evening, ladies. Interesting thing to note here, though. We see Clutch is on the top panel of this page. We see Clutch as the silhouette behind the pillar. And then there are a bunch of other, like, silhouettes that are the same color as the wall. But then there's one other background person who's in either the same parka or a very similar parka to the one from the earlier parts of the hotel room section. Of the hotel section. So maybe it wasn't Clutch that overheard them, but it's someone else. Who that someone else is beyond me, though. Anyway, allow me to introduce myself. I and Jamurl gets between him and the ladies. Please stay back, sir. And then Rouge chimes in. Mr. Clutch, your reputation precedes you. Excuse my friends, they're not used to such a refined environment. And Amy counters, hey, please, call me Facet. Charmed, Miss Facet. I make a point of meeting with all the new trainers in the chateau. Especially when they have such an exceptional chow at their side. My apartment is the penthouse suite. Stop by later tonight and we'll talk shop. My door is always open. I promise it'll be worth your while. And Rouge takes the card. It's a date. So it looks like maybe that was Clutch who overheard them. He seems to know what they're here for. That's why he's offering Rouge to his apartment to talk about the robot parts. And Rouge turns back to the group. And that's how you get things done. Seems a little too easy to me. Oh, he's got something up his sleeve for sure. But don't you worry your pretty head about it. I can handle myself. Go ahead and book a room for the night and don't wait up. Fine, but only because it's past Cream's bedtime. And so Rouge leaves the group. Later that night, and Rouge arrives at what she thinks is Clutch's apartment. The penthouse. This must be it. Please, come in. She opens the door and walks in, and the whole place is a mess. Oof. His housekeeping is about as rigorous as his personal hygiene. And then she looks over and sees like a pearl necklace. There is a certain charm to it, though. And then we see Clutch a lot smaller without his jacket. Good, you found me. Some of my guests get a bit lost in the collection. I trust you saw something to your liking, Rouge the Bat. And Rouge counters, my name is Facet. Don't bother. I'm sitting on a not insignificant fortune, and you're a world-famous thief. It was bound to happen eventually. I like how friendly he is here. He's like, yeah, sure, a thief would come get me eventually. It's about time. And Rouge kind of like stops for a moment. I prefer the term treasure hunter. Ha, treasure hunter it is then. Rouge, we both have something the other wants. Why not make a deal? I'm a Chow trainer and a good one. I only want the best. And that Chow you were racing today, I could make them legendary. So here's the pitch. If that diamond in the rough of yours can come out on top in tomorrow's races, I'll give you anything you want from my collection. In trade for the Chow. Oh, I'm seeing the conflict already. There's no way Cream is going to agree to giving up cheese. Don't worry. I treat my Chow quite well, as long as they're winning for me. And Rouge turns away. I'll need to think it over. Of course. Be sure to peruse my assortment of gemstones on the way out. There's some truly remarkable specimens. Alright, so honestly, given that scene with the Parka Guy, I'm starting to think that was not Clutch who overheard them. And especially given that he seems to think that Rouge is here for, like, gemstones, and not the E100 series. But anyway, Rouge turns to leave, and Omega says from the briefcase, discrepancy detected. The Chow cheese is not your property. How do you intend to obtain him? With the violence? And Rouge whispers to Omega, please, I'm not going to give him cheese. Of course, Clutch doesn't need to know that. She picks up Omega's head out of the suitcase. Listen carefully, Omega. I've got a job for you. Moments later, and done. This should be interesting. She leaves the room. And then we have the Parka Guy. Here we go. Knew you were... I figured out you weren't Clutch. Oh, and he's just down the hall waiting for Rouge to exit. Oh, how ominous. You've been following us since we arrived, haven't you? One of Clutch's cronies, here for a little extra intimidation. But then the Parka Guy takes off his hood. You! And then we cut to Shadow. For a second there I thought it would be Shadow. And that's what Shadow was doing here in the first scene. But no. Outside. And we see Shadow on the roof of the building. Another dead end. No sign of the doctor's work here. Just petty games and frivolous amusements. I guess the rumor about a bot trader here was false. What are Amy and Rouge doing here? With Cream, too. No, not my problem. But that's right, though. There is a bot trader. It is Clutch. That's why they're here. Which does mean in the end that Shadow and Team Amy's goals are aligned. Even if Shadow doesn't realize that yet. But anyway, someone comes up behind Shadow, and he looks around questioningly. And we see it looks like Parka Guy, who is glowing. Who is that? Maybe there was something to the rumors after all. And he jumps after him. You, stop. Don't bother running. You can't escape me. And Shadow catches up to him. But then he dashes away, this time with a blue glow, instead of the yellow glow we had originally. And Shadow chases after him. And then Parka Guy changes to a red glow. And Shadow catches up to him again and grabs him by the collar. Like I said, don't bother. Are you working for Dr. Eggman or what in the? And we see that Parka Guy has picked up a log from the building. And he whacks it at Shadow, and Shadow falls off the building. Next time the race is on. Okay, is there a next time cover with just Rouge, Amy, and Cream watching the Chow race? Not a whole lot to pick apart in this cover. But yeah, that's issue 33. It's a fair bit of setup, setting up this new arc, also kind of giving hints to perhaps the new direction, or a new direction of the series now that it has a new head writer. Again, I'm a little hesitant on on how Amy reacts to Sonic in this issue. Just because I like the more mature Amy we saw in the previous arcs. Though it's not big enough that it's like... I mean, it's definitely not exactly an overwhelming part of the story. It's more of I'm worried how Evan Stanley is going to take Amy from here. Just because Ian Flynn's take on Amy was so great. I don't know. There's not even really anything to really complain about yet. I'm just kind of guessworking here. The big question, though, is Parka Guy. He clearly has some kind of power. Different powers. He has the yellow glow, the blue glow, and the red glow. The red glow seems to give him super strength as he takes apart the log of the window. Blue maybe gives him the jumping that we see the blue streak as he jumps to the roof there. And then he comes out with a yellow glow. So I don't know. I don't really know. There's no character that pops up in my head immediately who has... when I first saw the yellow glow, my first thought was a super. But it's definitely not Sonic, because that would be really weird. We know it's not Shadow. We know it's not Silver, because he's in the future right now. So I have no idea who Parka Guy is. He's clearly someone Rouge recognizes, as that final Rouge scene indicates. But anything more than that, I just don't know. But then, yeah, beyond that, we have really just setup. It's seeing Cheese barely make it through that race and to make it to the Grand Prix. The race isn't super engaging as it is right now. It's just it's 3 pages. It doesn't really need to be that engaging. Maybe even, I think it's 2 pages, actually. But we'll see if it takes a more center stage aspect in the coming issues. But for now, we're left with a lot of mysteries. Primarily, who is the Parka Guy? How does Rouge know him? Is Shadow looking for someone different from Clutch? Or what exactly is Shadow doing here? Beyond, what is the rumor about a bot trader? Why does Shadow care more about this rumor than Omega? I don't know. All that will remain to be seen next month. I believe the next issue is on the 4th, 3 weeks away. So we'll find out more when that happens. But until then, that's all I have to say for this issue. Hope you all enjoyed the issue and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!